What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 6th day of November in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. Canadian mining company G Mining Ventures Corporation is aiming to produce 350,000 ounces of gold annually when its $1.5 billion Oko West project begins operations here in Guyana in 2027. The company, which has operations in Brazil, unveiled the Oko West project during an education forum at the Pegasus Corporate Suites this morning. G Mining Ventures Guyana Country Manager Bjorn Jun said the Oko West project, which is located in Region 7, represents a significant milestone in Guyana's natural resource development. The development capital is set at $936 million. Jun said once production begins, the company is aiming to produce approximately 350,000 ounces of gold annually.
With a projected mine life of 13 years, we anticipate the production of over 350,000 ounces a year. The ripple effect, which will be the creation of at least 1,500 jobs with strong focus on local employment and capacity building.
The multi-million project includes both open pit and underground mining. The company is currently transitioning to mine development, and construction of the mine site is set to begin in the second quarter of next year. The G Mining Ventures Guyana Country Manager said the company has established a multi-stakeholder working group to foster collaboration and transparency in Region 7 as the project unfolds. He also said the company is working closely with the government and government agencies to ensure the successful implementation of the gold mining project, which is expected to boost the economy significantly as well as gold production.
On a personal note, as a proud Guyanese, I am deeply honored to be part of the G Mining Ventures and the Oko West project. I truly believe that this project will transform not only the local economy, but the country, bringing sustainable development, meaningful employment, and long-lasting benefits to Guyana.
As part of its corporate social responsibility, G Mining Ventures Guyana has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Board of Industrial Training through the Ministry of Labour to train local workers at the BIT Center in Bartica. The country manager assured that the Oko West project will offer employment opportunities to many of the trainees, thereby enhancing the local workforce. Additionally, through its scholarship agreement with the University of Guyana, several geology students have benefited and will continue to benefit from educational support. Minister of Labour Joe Hamilton said his ministry is pleased to partner with the gold company.
Fundamental to our relationship with this company is our hope is that together we can train, develop, and nurture men and women of Region 7 primarily who will be working with this company. And that is our function. And we have made available our training center at Bartica.
The minister also said he was pleased to learn of the company's intention to train and hire Guyanese, largely from Region 7. He said job creation is important to the development of the country, and the Labour Ministry is happy to play its part. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith. One day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Mobile fuels are made with our customers in mind. Mobile Synergy Supreme Plus is designed to help you protect your engine so that your vehicle can give you better mileage and better performance. When you choose Mobile Synergy Supreme Plus, you choose a fuel that will help keep your vehicle running at its best. Visit a mobile service station today and fuel up with Mobile Synergy Supreme Plus. Mobile trademarks are owned by ExxonMobil and used under license.
Honey, what are you doing? Let's cash out. Let's cash out.
Shop $5,000 or more at any Massey stores for a chance to win a 2024 Nissan Qashqai Sense and $100,000 every 2 weeks with Massey Stores Christmas Jackpot Promotion.
Are you ready for Guy Expo 2024? Join us from November 14 to 17 at the National Exhibition Center. Experience an exciting array of local products and services, live entertainment, delicious food, unique crafts, a dedicated children's zone, and so much more. The expo begins at 6 p.m. on November 14 and at 2 p.m. on the following days, and a special opening from midday on November 15 to accommodate our school children. Tickets are just $500. Children under 5 are free. Call 219-0087 or 219-0089 for more information, or visit guyexpo.gy. Guy Expo, Guyana on show, the fastest growing economy.
Welcome back. President Irfan Ali has offered his congratulations to U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on his return to the White House. In a statement on his Facebook page today, President Ali congratulated Mr. Trump and said Guyana looks forward to working closely with the incoming U.S. administration to further strengthen the already robust ties between Guyana and the United States. Guyana and the U.S. have shared close ties for more than 5 decades, and the U.S. has been supportive to a number of policies and critical areas in Guyana, ranging from security to economic development. Trump, who previously served as America's 45th president but lost his re-election bid 4 years ago, will be sworn in as the 47th president of the U.S. in January. The race was called in his favor early this morning by the U.S. media that projected that he had crossed the 270 electoral votes needed to capture the U.S. presidency. Trump's election is being seen as historic, as he will become the oldest person to take the office of the president at the age of 78. He pulled off his win against U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, who had campaigned on a number of critical issues, ranging from abortion rights to democracy. Trump was the U.S. president in 2020 when President Irfan Ali and the People's Progressive Party Civic won the general elections here in Guyana, with the final results coming 5 months after the close of polls. Trump's Secretary of State at the time, Mike Pompeo, became the highest-ranking sitting U.S. government official to visit Guyana in 2020, months before the U.S. elections that eventually saw Trump being ousted. In the local courts now, the courtroom of the acting chief magistrate will begin hearing oral arguments on the 9th of December into the ongoing electoral fraud case. The case was recently transferred to the acting chief magistrate after the previous magistrate who had begun hearing the matter fell seriously ill and has proceeded on leave. At the case management conference today, the acting chief magistrate, Faith McGusty, told the defense attorneys that they will have 3 weeks to submit written arguments, while the state will have until the 4th of December to submit written responses in preparation for oral arguments. The magistrate noted the lengthy delays in the case and has pledged to work with all of the attorneys to ensure that the case goes through the court in a timely manner. Defense attorney Nigel Hughes pleaded with the court to not have the case degenerate. He said the case is a highly political one, which has been attracting criticism from politicians and state attorneys. This, he said, has caused some discomfort and also has cast some shadows over the local judiciary. The judiciary has faced criticisms over the lengthy delays associated with the trial. At a press conference last week, Vice President Bara Jagdeo urged the judiciary to address the delays in important cases, such as the election case. A few months ago, Mr. Jagdeo stated that given the pace of the trials in the local courts, he believes the case will eventually find its way to the Caribbean Court of Justice. Attorney Nigel Hughes this morning told the court that he wishes that the matter be conducted in a manner that does not become verbal and disrespectful out of court. He said the case is highly political and the court cannot allow finger-pointing and people trying the matter outside of the courtroom.
The single legal point that I submitted was that when a matter starts de novo, which means afresh, you actually return to the first day the defendants appear before the court and decisions are taken there. So for example, in an indictable matter, there's no requirement to plea. If the matter is converted into a summary matter, they hear the arguments and then the defendants plea. My friend indicated that the convention has been that most of the time when people come before the courts in indictable matters, they're converted quite quickly to summary matters and the court tends to hear them. And if the matter is subsequently transferred, the decision to make the matter summary is normally abided by a new magistrate.
Special Prosecutor Darshan Ramdani, who is representing the state in the matter, also pleaded for respect and healthy debates as the case unfolds. The special prosecutor said there is a narrative taking place on the outside, and he thinks the note of caution issued by the defense attorney is important.
The most important thing for us is to get these matters on the way. It's been over 3 years now that these matters have been in the court. There have been many hearings. We had gotten off to a very good start some months ago, but Magistrate Daly is not well. And so we are now before a new magistrate. The matters are to be started de novo. Mr. Hughes and I, or the defense team and I, the prosecution, disagrees on that rather singular matter, what de novo means.
The state is expected to call some 70 witnesses, and the chief magistrate said she will indicate when the matter reaches that stage. The state is also preparing to again seek a ruling on whether the matter should be indictable or tried summarily. The defendants in the matter are former Chief Election Officer Keith Lowenfield, former Deputy Chief Election Officer Roxanne Myers, and former Region 4 Returning Officer Clement Mingo, along with Opposition Member of Parliament Volda Lawrence, People's National Congress Reform Member Carol Smith-Joseph, and the election officers chauffeur in February, Enrique Leven, Dennis Bob Cummings, and Michelle Miller. Together, the 9 accused are facing 19 conspiracy charges relating to an alleged attempt to declare fraudulent results during the last elections in 2020. They have all declared their innocence.
The Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Types of transactions. Anyone eligible for registration is required to visit the registration office responsible for his or her area of residence to apply for registration. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were last registered. Apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered could request that their photographs be retaken if the quality of the photographs on their ID cards is unacceptable. Collect their new ID cards if they have not done so as yet. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, please contact GCOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Attorney General Anil Nandlal has expressed worry over the rate at which the local courts, specifically the Court of Appeal decisions, are being overturned by the Caribbean Court of Justice. During his weekly television program, the Attorney General referenced the recent decision handed down by the CCJ in the Parliamentary Secretary's case. The CCJ overturned the Guyana Court of Appeal and High Court decision that the two PPP election candidates could not sit in the National Assembly as parliamentary secretaries. In its unanimous decision, the CCJ said the local court's interpretation of the legislation was wrong. Attorney General Nandlal said it is worrying that the Court of Appeal decisions are now being overturned often.
What is worrying is the alarming rate of reversal which is taking place at the level of the Court of Appeal of Guyana and the Caribbean Court of Justice. I have spoken about this several times, and it must be a cause for worry. In certain types of cases, as I have pointed out repeatedly, there is a 100% reversal.
According to the Attorney General, there has been a pattern at the appeal court where certain categories of cases are being ruled on one way, and then the CCJ would later reverse that decision. He pointed out that in other cases the reversal rate is not that high.
This is a worrying issue. And as Minister with responsibility for justice, it is my duty to voice these concerns. While we have, I believe, successfully addressed the backlog in the High Court, and cases are moving swiftly in the High Court and are being disposed of swiftly in the High Court, for which I must give credit to the judiciary, in particular the High Court judges, led by the Chief Justice. We have now developed an unfortunate bottleneck or backlog at the level of the Court of Appeal.
The Attorney General also said another issue of delays in disposing cases is starting to develop at the Court of Appeal, and the government will be having a closer look at the issues there. Attorney General Anil Nandlal has rejected the opposition's call for legislation for cash grant distribution, saying among other things that it would introduce unnecessary rigidity into government policy. Since the government's announcement of the $100,000 cash grant for every adult Guyanese, the opposition has called for legislation for the distribution of the grant, so as to rid the process of corruption and to guide the distribution of the grant. But the Attorney General last evening said it is not a position that the government will support.
If they win the election next time, they will implement it. We are not going to do that. It doesn't make sense at no level. At no level does it make sense.
Nandlal said the government has been distributing grants to Guyanese for over a decade, and there has been no complications and more flexibility to increase the grant. He said there is no sensible reason as to why there should be a law governing cash grant distribution.
What is important is that the people are receiving the cash grant, or they will receive the cash grant. That is what is important, and that is what the people want. They don't want it in the form of legislation. And as I said, why put it into law? When you put it into law, there is rigidity. You have lost flexibility, because the law will now dictate your policy.
And to further make his point, Mr. Nandlal said that putting such a measure into law could lead to complications if circumstances change, such as a downturn in oil revenue or other economic shocks.
So you put it into law, and then next year, for whatever reason, oil prices drop, because oil prices depend upon a volatile world market, and you are unable to pay. So what happens? You violate your own law? And how do you know that you want to continue doing this every year? And what sum will be next year, or you want to amend the law every time?
The government has said it is developing an app for registration for the $100,000 cash grant, but it has not indicated a start date for the distribution of the grant.
Are you ready for Guy Expo 2024? Join us from November 14 to 17 at the National Exhibition Center. Experience an exciting array of local products and services, live entertainment, delicious food, unique crafts, a dedicated children's zone, and so much more. The expo begins at 6 p.m. on November 14 and at 2 p.m. on the following days, and a special opening from midday on November 15 to accommodate our school children. Tickets are just $500. Children under 5 are free. Call 219-0087 or 219-0089 for more information, or visit guyexpo.gy. Guy Expo, Guyana on show, the fastest growing economy.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guy Oil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guy Oil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, another important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial and aerial transportation. Guy Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 hours, 13 hours to 16 hours 30, and Friday from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact the GCOM on 225-0277-9 or visit the website www.gcom.org.gy.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Across the region tonight, Hurricane Rafael swirled past the Cayman Islands and was expected to rapidly intensify before making landfall later tonight in western Cuba, where it's forecast to hit as a Category 2 hurricane. It was another stroke of bad news for Cuba, which has been struggling with blackouts while recovering from another hurricane 2 weeks ago that killed at least 6 people in the eastern part of the island. The storm was located about 120 miles southeast of the Isle of Yurt and around 195 miles south-southeast of Havana. It had maximum sustained winds of 90 miles per hour and was moving northwest at 14 miles per hour, according to the National Hurricane Center in Miami. Forecasters warned that Rafael was expected to slam into Cuba after dumping rain on Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. The center warned of floods, storm surges, and mudslides. The U.S. State Department issued an advisory for Cuba yesterday, offering departure flights to non-essential staff and American citizens, and advising others to reconsider travel to Cuba due to the potential impact of Tropical Storm Rafael. In Grenada, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell says he will be providing a comprehensive report on the technical and economic feasibility of developing Grenada's hydrocarbon reserves. Prime Minister Mitchell said he will also be presenting a report on the potential environmental and social impacts of hydrocarbon exploration and development in Grenada to the public by the end of this month of November. He said a committee which has been doing a lot of work to get a complete understanding of the current state of the country's contractual and legal obligations around hydrocarbons and the exploration licensing agreement awarded to Global Petrol by the previous administration is being looked at. The Prime Minister said when his government was elected to office in 2022, it was unable to find a complete report about Grenada's oil and gas situation, and the decision was taken by the cabinet then to appoint a technical working group to demystify the oil and gas situation in the Caribbean country. And finally tonight, international news. The Associated Press reports that Donald Trump has been elected the 47th President of the United States. An extraordinary comeback for a former president who refused to accept defeat 4 years ago, sparked a violent insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, was convicted of felony charges, and survived 2 assassination attempts. With a win in the state of Wisconsin, Trump cleared the 270 electoral votes needed to clinch the presidency. He won Michigan on Wednesday afternoon, sweeping the blue wall along with Pennsylvania, the one-time Democrat-leaning swing states that all went for Trump in 2016 before flipping to President Joe Biden in 2020. His Democratic rival, Vice President Kamala Harris, called Trump this afternoon to concede the race and congratulate him. A short time later, Biden also called Trump to congratulate him and to invite the president-elect to the White House, formally kicking off the transition ahead of Inauguration Day, the White House said. Biden also called his Vice President Kamala Harris. Foreign leaders called Trump too, including Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the French President Emmanuel Macron. Trump's win against Harris, the first woman of color to lead a major party ticket, marks the second time he has defeated a female rival in general election. Harris, the current vice president, rose to the top of the ticket after the President Joe Biden exited the race amid alarm about his advanced age. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to have a safe and enjoyable night.